Good Shepherd. Welcome to Vacation Bible School 2020. Wow, this year looks a lot different with VBS, but we're going to have so many awesome things coming your way, and it's going to be great. Each week in July, on Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m., we'll introduce to you our introductory video, and this video will include lots of great things, like an introduction to the theme for the week, singing with Brooke. We'll do some reading of a Bible story, hopefully a little interactive, and a video to lead you in doing some movement at home. For those families who have signed up for VBS kits, those should have arrived at your houses, and you have 2 activities every week that you'll be doing on your own. They are called Create and Play and Compassion in Action, and you'll have all the things you need either in your kit or somewhere at home to do those 2 items. Please, if you think of it, take some pictures of participation in VBS and send those to me via email or text so that I can include them in next week's video so we can feel like we're all part of our community here at the table doing VBS together. All right, it's time to get started with this week's Vacation Bible School. Here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to week 1 of VBS 2020. Excuse me. I'm just a little sleepy, all this hot weather. Oh man. Maybe I'll just, whoa, man, those yawns. Did you yawn when I yawned? Have you ever done that? When someone else is yawning and it makes you yawn too? Did you know that yawns are contagious? Not just for humans, but for dogs and chimpanzees too. It's crazy. And when you see someone yawn or laugh or cry, there's something in your brain that responds, and you know what it feels like to yawn or to feel joy and laugh with someone, or maybe to feel sad when someone is crying. That is called empathy. Try and say that word, empathy. And when we know what it's like to feel something that someone else feels, we become more compassionate towards that other person. And that is what our VBS is all about this year, compassion. That sense of feeling empathy for what someone else feels. For example, have you ever seen someone step on a Lego? I know I've stepped on a Lego, and I've seen someone else step on a Lego, and I know when I see someone else step on a Lego, I do this, because I know it would hurt to step on that Lego. That's empathy. And if I wanted to try and help them, if they were maybe bouncing around on one foot and they weren't feeling so good, that would lead me towards compassion. So we see someone, we feel what they feel, and then we help them. That is compassion. But in order to show empathy, I have to see you, right? That's the beginning of compassion, is to see someone. And when we gather around a table, or maybe a virtual table in this day and age, when we can't see so many other people around a table, we need to look into each other's eyes and hear each other's voices so that we can begin to understand what other people's feelings are. That's why it's important to welcome other people to our tables, whether that's our physical tables at home or our churches, our community, or any gathering space that we might have. And it means welcoming people into our heart, into our lives together. Let's start by thinking about compassion today as inviting people to come to the table. There's a great song about this that Brooke is going to share with us now. Let's hear what he has to say.
Good Shepherd friends and family, It's your old pal, Brooke Joyce here. Now I know what you're thinking. Brooke, it looks like you haven't had your hair cut in about 5 months. Brooke, it looks like you haven't shaved in maybe a week. Brooke, do you even shower anymore? I will have you know that I showered yesterday. And I might even shower today. I probably will actually, but I'm not going to shave. Maybe I'll shave tomorrow, we'll see. I don't know about the hair though, that's an ongoing thing. I might never cut it again, we'll see. Nobody knows, right? Every day we wake up and we wonder what's going to be in store for us. What I have in store for you today is a lovely little song. We're going to learn 5 songs this month, 1 per week, and we'll kind of practice it, learn it at the beginning of our video, and then we'll do it again at the end to kind of remind ourselves how it goes. Now, this first song has a lot of repeating in it, which is great. So there are not that many words you need to learn. The first part goes like this. Come to the table, come to the table, come to the table, and celebrate with us. And then the second part of that part goes, come to the table, come to the table, come to the table, and celebrate with us. So you do it 3 times, and then come celebrate with us. Okay, so let me sing it for you, and then we'll do it again, and you can sing along with me. I think you can learn it pretty quickly. So this is the key. It's a little on the low side, but that's okay, because it's summertime. That's it. Want to try it with me? I think you can do it. And then guess what? After that, I'll teach you the words to the second part, and then we'll just do that right away together. In fact, I'll teach you the words right now, okay? It's the same pattern. So, come to the table, come to the table, come to the table, and celebrate with us. Then you do the whole thing again. And then, second part, we are all welcome. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. Come celebrate with us. And then do it again. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. Come celebrate with us. Okay? Let's go back to the first part, which is come to the table. Okay? Here we go. Come to the table and celebrate with us. A 1, a 2, a here we go. Come to the table. Come to the table. Come to the table and celebrate with us. Come to the table. Come to the table. Come to the table and celebrate with us. We all are welcome. I'm sorry, I messed that up. We are all welcome. Let's try that again. Second part, we are all welcome. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. Come celebrate with us. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. We are all welcome. Come celebrate with us. And that's the end. We'll come back at the end of this video and we'll practice it again. Toodaloo.
Thank you so much, Brooke. That was awesome. It's always great to hear you leading us in song and learning some new earworms that get stuck in our head during VBS every year. God invites everyone to the table of blessing. And when you hear that song later in this video once more, I want you to think about how everyone is included at the table. And think of the people that you would want included at God's table also. Soon we're going to hear the Bible story for this week, and it's about a family where there's a party and people are celebrating a meal around a table. But one family member wasn't so happy that that celebration and meal was taking place around that table. As we begin to learn more about compassion together, I want to start our VBS this week with a compassion prayer. And I want you to start by placing one hand on your head and one hand on your heart. Because compassion happens in our brains, but we feel it in our hearts. Keep your hands there while we say this prayer together now. Repeat after me. Welcoming one, your warm, wide arms are always open. Drawing us into your heart, make our arms your own. Help us to see and welcome with compassion all those we meet. Amen. All right, it's time for the Bible story. Let's see the Larson family act this out for us this week.
Good Shepherd, we are going to read our Bible story next for Vacation Bible School, and we're going to be reading Luke chapter 15, verses 11 through 32. But before we start, I want to remind you what compassion means. It means that I see your hurt, I feel your hurt, and I want to work to ease your hurt. So when we think about this as we read our story, when are times that you see moments of compassion in the story as you watch this being acted out? And maybe think about times when you might feel compassion for some of the characters that you see in the story. So here's our Bible story from Luke chapter 15, the Prodigal Son. Jesus told this parable. There once was a man who had 2 sons. The younger brother greedily demanded his inheritance, turned his back on his family, and left them for a far-away country. He wasted all the money he took from his family. Soon he became needy and hungry. Even though he felt ashamed, he decided to return home, hoping his father might welcome him back. When his father saw him, he was filled with compassion. He ran out to his son, threw his arms around him. He was so happy he was alive. The father got a big dinner together with the best food and drink to give thanks for his son's safe return. Meanwhile, the older brother came in from the fields, tired from working hard all day. When he heard the music and dancing, he became angry and refused to go in. His father went to the older brother to persuade him to come, but he said, "I've listened to you and worked hard for you all these years, and you've never given me a party. My brother comes home after wasting all his money, and you throw him a party?" His father said to him, "Son, I love you. You know what is mine is yours. But people matter more than possessions. We thought we lost your brother from our family, but he's home. Come to the table and celebrate with us." When we listen to stories, we can learn so much from other people's feelings. This is one way that we learn compassion. We see and listen and recognize what people are feeling. And this helps us to feel their joy and their hurt with them. Sometimes it requires a bit of imagination on our part, because the story might not tell us directly what they're feeling. For example, in this story, we might have to focus on the younger brother and father, but the older brother has something to show us too. Compassion helps us to see how every human being is important in the eyes of God. Cheers!
Now to get you up and moving, we've got an important member of Good Shepherd who used to be a physical education instructor, a teacher who taught Phi Ed. And he is going to lead his family in some exercises to get you moving at home. What you'll need to grab before you start is something that you could use as a steering wheel. You'll see in the video that they use lids to a bin or a plastic top to a container in your kitchen. And this is something you could do inside or outside. So grab something for your steering wheel and let's see what they've got for us this week.
Little activity is called cars. It's kind of fun, but you got to really follow directions. I'm going to show everybody what you need to do. First of all, when I say streets, you just walk. You say highways, then you start running. If you say tunnel, you have to go down, bend down like you're going under a tunnel. If you hear me say stop sign, you got to come to a stop. And then you can start again. If you hear me say railroad tracks, you have to bump over the top of them. And if you hear me say flat tire, you have to drop whatever you're using as a wheel and you pump it up. And then you pick it up and you go again. Okay? All right, let's see how this group can do. Ready? Go. Streets. Highway. Streets. Bump. Bump. Railroad track. Stop sign. Go. Streets. Tunnel. Streets. Highway. Streets. Flat tire. Pick it up and go when you're ready. Streets. Tunnel. Streets. Stop sign. Go. Highway. And stop. And go ahead and try this on your own. Have your parents give you some directions or else have a friend.
It's time to start wrapping up our introduction to week 1 of VBS 2020. I want you to think about the beginning of compassion being seeing others, seeing what they're going through. This is one of the most true and honest ways we live out God's compassion in the world, is seeing others and their experience. It's really the beginning, the groundwork of compassion. And it helps us to then feel some empathy, right? Feel what other people feel. And if that compassion keeps growing in what we feel, then we can see and welcome other people, and we can open ourselves up to God's spirit of kindness and love for others. We saw how when we gather around the table, whether it's a physical table or a table on the computer, on the phone, when we're talking with other people, that we can see and feel the emotions of other people who are present with us. In our Bible story today, we saw a father welcome his younger son home. He showed compassion to his son when he didn't feel so great. The father welcomed him back home. But sometimes we forget the father also showed compassion to the older brother in that story. In seeing his hurt and frustration, he still welcomed his older son to the table as well. The father reminded both brothers that they are fully loved, no matter what. Let's close in the same way that we started today, by placing one hand on your head to remember that compassion starts here, and one hand on your heart to remind us that we feel compassion for others. And let's say this prayer together again. Repeat after me. Welcoming one, your warm, wide arms are always open. Draw us into your heart of love. Make our arms your own. Help us to see and welcome with compassion, all those we meet. Amen. Now we're going to listen to that song from Brooke, Come to the Table, one last time. After you listen and sing along at home, it's time to go ahead and do those activities that came in your VBS kit. You should have everything that you need. And remember, while you're working on those things, take some pictures and send those to me for next week's VBS. It's time. We'll see you next week for week 2, VBS.